This week, we recap all the exciting news from the Lucasfilm Publishing panel at Comic-Con, celebrate the release of Out of the Shadows, and more. Another week, another chance to catch up with my friends and colleagues at the office. Man, I can't wait to talk about The Rising Storm, that ending, and all that Comic-Con news, and the Bad Batch. Goggles, bandana, those are some good nicknames. No? Okay. Still the only person in the office. Maybe the droids have been keeping up with their reading. I'll ask him after the news. We're still riding that Comic-Con wave of excitement after last week's special Lucasfilm Publishing panel featuring the luminous authors of the High Republic. And speaking of waves, Wave 3 of books and comics from the new era of Star Wars storytelling has been announced. Claudia Gray will pen the adult novel The Fallen Star, while Charles Soule delivers the origin story of Marchion Ro in the special Marvel two-shot Eye of the Storm. Daniel Jose Older is writing a new YA novel called Midnight Horizon, and Justina Ireland will bring us the middle grade book Mission to Disaster. For more on these titles hitting store shelves in January 2022 and insights from the authors, including Detective Kevin Scott, watch the full panel and read up on the highlights on StarWars.com/thisweeknow. Yesterday, we got a brand new episode of the Star Wars The High Republic show, and while I still haven't been given the rank of Master, I was pretty excited to see the full Jedi Council assembled. And over on StarWars.com, we celebrated the debut of Out of the Shadows earlier this week with an exclusive new interview with Justina Ireland, who promises that this latest installment in the second wave of books is a turning point. That means there's no going back now. Listen in for yourself on StarWars.com/thisweeknow. And last week, Star Wars The Bad Batch encountered a different kind of problem in the new episode, Infested. Look, we never really trusted Sid either, but once she was deposed by this guy, we had to side with Omega. Sid needed the Bad Batch's help to get her office back. Unfortunately, their trek into the mining tunnels put them in the flight path of these guys. Big ol' swarm of space bugs. But in happier news, Omega did get to spend some time with Ruby again. What fresh horrors are in store for Clone Force 99 this week? Find out when the next episode debuts tomorrow, only on Disney+. Roland Durand, a fellow so bold he wanted to try and live up to his father's name, and he tried to dethrone Sid, but instead found himself up to his horn in trouble. Like Omega, we know there must be more than that below the surface, so we chatted with head writer Jennifer Corbett and supervising director Brad Rau all about this Deveronian.
Roland Durand is a study in sometimes people bite off more than they can chew.
It's rude to barge into one's office unannounced.
This isn't your office.
Guess again.
And maybe he's not all in all a bad person. I think, you talk about family pressure and he's in the family business trying to make a name for himself, but ultimately he makes a mistake. And I think that's why in the end, Omega sticks up for him and tries to stop what's happening because like they say, he just made a mistake, just walk away.
Are you okay?
It's a small price to pay.
I always refer to it as our political trilogy when we're on Raxus and then the two-parter on Ryloth. And then really the third part of the politics in my weird fan mind is to see the politics of the underworld. Even though you don't see exactly how the Empire directly stabs into that, you can see this guy up jumping himself, reaching for more than he should because in this new political climate, there's an opening to do something. So, okay, cool. But if it's the Pikes, you made the wrong choice, sir. That's a bad thing. But it's been really interesting to explore how the galaxy is changing through those 4 episodes.
Thanks, Brad and Jen. That's it for this week, but for more on these stories and other news from around the galaxy, check out StarWars.com. And be sure to join us right here for This Week in Star Wars every Thursday. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.